Hey, it's Dave the butterfly guy here. I'm standing in my garden next to my bee balm and next to my delphiniums. And so today we're here to talk about how to attract the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail to your garden. So in the past I've showed videos on how to get the Giant Swallowtail, how to get black swallowtails to your garden. I've got links to those down below, so check those out when you get a chance. I also have a video on Swallowtails in Minnesota, and I hope you enjoy that link also. But today it's all about getting the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail to your garden. So there's two things that are really important in getting Eastern Tiger Swallowtails to your garden. First of all, you got to have the right flowers and pollinating plants, so when the butterflies are out there, they're coming to your garden for the nectar, for the pollen in your garden. So I'm going to share with you my favorite flowers to attract the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. So that's one thing. The second thing is you got to have the proper host plants. And host plants for the Tiger Swallowtail are trees a lot of time. They include trees like ash, basswood, wild cherry, willow trees, and then I've got the tree I'm going to plant today for you in my garden, and I'm going to share with you that in just a little bit.
Hey, let's start with a few fun facts about the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. Let's start with where it lives. It lives in the eastern part of the United States, and our Canadian friends can find it in the southern parts of Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec. Check out the caterpillar for the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. It's got these imaginary eyes. They're fake eyes to help scare off predators. The other thing they have is they have these horns that come out of their head that also will spook the predators away. All right, here's the life cycle for the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. The eggs are around for just 4 to 10 days. Caterpillars 3 to 4 weeks. The chrysalis is 10 to 20 days, except for the chrysalis that lasts through the winter. And then the butterflies are just around for 6 to 14 days, and then they start the process all over again. It's fairly easy to differentiate the male and female tiger swallowtail. You can see the female has the blue on the bottom of its wings where the male doesn't. And then another really funky thing about the tiger swallowtail is the female sometimes comes in a black version with the blue on its wings. So look for both types of Eastern tiger swallowtails as they come to your garden. All right, let's get on with my top 3 pollinating flowers to attract the Eastern tiger swallowtail. First, I'm going to start with the zinnia. I love zinnias, and so does the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. I have all kinds of video of this swallowtail feasting in my garden on zinnias. My next favorite plant is the purple coneflower. So this is a great flower, pollinator. It attracts the tiger swallowtail and monarchs and other butterflies also. So you should always have purple coneflowers in your butterfly garden. And my number 1 flower to attract the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail to my garden is hyssop. Hyssop's amazing. Butterflies love it, especially the swallowtails and especially the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. So if you don't have that in your garden yet, please consider getting that planted. It's my favorite. So we've talked about pollinating flowers to attract the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. Now let's talk about its host plants and which one am I going to plant in my garden today. Willow trees are a great host plant for the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail, but I'm not going to plant that today because my neighbors have got it covered. Here's some shots of the willows in my neighborhood. Here are some other options for you for host plants for the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail.
So the host plant I picked to attract the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail to my garden is the birch tree. So the river birch is a great tree for hosting the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail, the mourning cloaks. There's gray birch, there's yellow birch, there's the white spire European birch. Those are all great birch trees, but what I picked was the classic native birch tree to Minnesota, the white or paper birch. So they're a little less popular in your lawn and garden centers. I had to actually drive like 45 miles to Chisago, Minnesota, and I was able to get this paper birch from the Applewood nursery there. So that's what I'm going to plant today. So when you plant a tree that comes in a container, you got to dig a hole that's about twice as wide as the container and about equal depth as the container. And actually you want to have it probably a couple inches less than that, so the top of the tree bulb is sticking up above the ground a little bit, because that'll settle in as you dug this hole. So I've dug my hole. It's about 32 inches wide. My container's 16 inches. So the depth of my hole is about 15 inches, and that'll put my root bulb right above the ground. So it's about perfect. So I'm ready to take out my birch tree from the container and loosen those roots and get ready to put it in the hole. So I have my birch out of the container, and then you need to really break up these roots so the roots can get out and they're not all bound together. This one doesn't look like it's too bound, but I'm going to break up the base a little bit. Alright, so I've got my paper birch tree planted. I put some of the soil I dug out of the hole back into the hole with a little bit of fresh soil also, but it's important to use some of the existing soil so the roots take hold in it. Then the last thing, I need to water it. I've already poured a couple gallons of water around it, but I'm going to pour one more for 3 gallons today, and then I'll probably add another couple gallons each of the next couple days or through the next week. So I'm excited to have this new host plant in my garden. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video and are thinking about planting some plants and pollinators for your Eastern Tiger Swallowtail, and consider planting one of those trees that act as a host plant. I planted the birch tree. So that's all I got today. It's Dave the Butterfly Guy signing out. Have a great day.